Alright guys, what's up? So I'm gonna be making a long-awaited tutorial video today. A lot of people have been asking for, so let's get started. First, I'm going to be showing you guys today how to motion track 3D text, and there's two different ways I know how to do it. One's in Element and one is in Cinema 4D. Cinema 4D is, well, takes a lot longer. I'm not going to say it's more complicated because they're both pretty easy. It's just that Cinema 4D takes a lot longer, but Cinema 4D also, like the two programs used for Cinema 4D, are fine on lower powered computers, because Element 3D definitely needs a more intense computer. So I'm just going to show you guys from start to finish. Just want to clear this folder real quick. This is from an edit I did this week. Alright, so I have a folder for motion tracking, as you can see here. I'm going to clear a bunch of this stuff, but I recommend you have different folders for every, because you have to make frames. Like, each frame is a different picture within this. So I recommend that you have folders for each motion track you're going to do. If you're doing Cinema 4D, Element, it's not this much of a hassle. But alright, so I just cleared all that. We're going to import our cinematic. So I'm just going to use like one from a pack, nothing special, just to show you guys how you do this. So we're gonna start with this one's a good one for beginners. Alright, so once you import your clip to After Effects, I don't know, any After Effects above CS6 will probably work. I've never used CS5 before or whatever else is there, but I know 6 works and this works, so I'm assuming CC works too. Grab your clip and drop it on top of this to make a new composition with the same frame rates as the clip. And we're going to shorten this up a little because we don't need wicked long render times. So we're going to come like, I don't need a really long clip because this is just a demonstration, so I'm just going to cut it off there. Gonna say like 152. Yeah. Alright, this works. So we're gonna have our text like here, and I'll show you guys how we do that soon, but when we leave After Effects to bring it to Buju, which is the next program, we need to render it in PNG sequence. So custom format PNG sequence, that's really it. All these defaults are fine. Best settings is fine. All you need to do is hit PNG sequence and save the location. You do not want to save this to your desktop. It will make a bunch of little pictures on your desktop. I've done it before. It's a pain to clean it up. So we go find our motion tracking folder with all our other separate folders. We're going to pick F1 for the first set of frames. And we're going to change the name of this to, what are we going to do for our motion tracking text? We'll just do Meers, why not? So you have to make sure you keep the parentheses, you have to keep the underscore, the brackets, and all these numbers. You have to make sure you keep those. Do not change those. Now hit render, and this could take a little while. So I will catch up with you guys back in Buju. Alright, so our sequence has finished rendering and now we're in Buju. So the first thing we're going to do is import our frames, which would be the sequence button right here. So we click this and we go and find our folder right here, here, here. Here's all our frames. So we hit open and it'll automatically calculate to the last frame. because Buju is a smart program. So we don't want to change any of this but the frame rate. Obviously you don't want 24. I edit everything in 59.94, so I'm going to do that. But I mean, if you don't have the best computer or you just don't care about that, go with 29.97 and it'll make things a lot quicker too. But I would rather have the better quality because I need to edit in 60 frames per second. That's just how all my presets and such run. So we gotta hit apply, and for some reason it always goes back, so you just hit it again, hit apply, and it sticks that time. Then you close it, and we're gonna hit track features here. And I like to hit the advanced and bump up the sensitivity about 2 ticks, and you hit start. And just by bumping up the sensitivity, it's gonna give you more points to lay out your scene, and you'll see that in a bit. But I'm gonna leave it recording through this because this doesn't take too long. Actually, I'll meet up with you guys once this. Alright, so that just finished, and we're gonna hit camera solve now. And this is a big thing. You have to make sure you tick the box that says optimize camera path smoothness. If you don't, in your motion track, the camera will like jab forward and then retract, and then it just looks ugly. So you got to make sure you hit this. It takes a little longer, but I promise it's a major difference. So we're gonna hit start. This one's pretty quick, so I'm not gonna cut the video. There you go. Now you have a decent amount of points here to possibly lay out your motion track. But I want to have my text in like this area here, like right around here. So we're gonna map out our scene here. So you hit scene geometry. You're gonna add a coordinate from hint and then change it to the X. I do the X first, doesn't matter though. Now you need to find 2 points that are like perfectly across from each other, that like if you put a piece of paper against them, like it would go along it. So I see these 2 points here. Obviously I like to go typically I'd rather have 2 points that are farther apart, but for the purpose of this should work. And if it doesn't, you can always redo this. This is an easy thing. So you're gonna hit 1 point, then hit control, and then hit the other point. So both your points are highlighted. Then you want to hit connect to selected. Then you want to add another coordinate from hint and make this one the Z axis. So you want to use one of the same points that you used before. So I'm going to use this point here, and I'm probably going to use this point back here because this looks like it's perfectly back. The Z axis is the depth. So when you put your text in, it automatically calculates for the Y in Cinema 4D. They're both smart programs. So you just have to worry about the side to side and the back, and you can fix other stuff from there in Cinema 4D. So I wouldn't worry about getting it perfect, but I'll update coordinate frame after you connect the last 2. I hit it twice just to be safe. Then you can add a test object to see what it looks like. So we're going to add that, and it's flat to the ground, and it's in the area we want. So we did a good job here. So what we're going to do is export our camera. Pick where you want it. I'm going to put it in the motion tracking folder. We want to change the export type to Cinema 4D. Change this. I'm going to call it like Meers cam. And then we want to bump the scale up by 100. This is important. If you don't, it messes up in Cinema 4D. So you got to make sure you're doing that. So once we've done this, we hit save, a little quick save, and we're all set in this program. So I'll catch up with you guys in. Alright guys, so we got Cinema 4D loaded up here, and we're just going to start to bring all our files in. So we want to hit File, Open, and we want to open the cam we just made. Yes, just hit OK with whatever pops up there. Now you can see that it moves, but there's no background. So what we have to do is put this background in. So we're going to hit create a new material. You double click on the material and it'll bring you. This tick or untick specular. Now you're in color tab. You want to hit your bar here that's just gray. It'll give you this. And this is going to be what we're going to map an image to our material. We want to find the first frame of our motion track, which is right here. So we're going to hit open. No, you do not want to create a copy at the project location. This will just create a bunch of unnecessary files. Now once we've loaded it in, we want to click in here and it brings us this. We hit this animation tab and then we calculate. And now it's calculated as a moving material. So when we hit this button, you hit the thing that looks like a floor, you just hold it, make sure you're holding it, go to the background and release your click on background. Put the background there. Drop your material onto the background, bang. We move our camera, our material is in motion. So, now we can add our text. So we're going to move a little closer to where our text would be, like our focal point of our text. Hit MoGraph, MoText, and we have some text. And I'm just going to make it say Meers for this, and we're just designing, this is all designing the text now. You've done all the other work, now we're just designing the text. So, what font do I want to use? Well, I have a go-to font I like to use. Looks good in 3D, but so obviously this is too long, so we gotta make this smaller. Hit middle. Alright. So looks to me that this needs to go up a little.
Jacob, Mom and Dad will be home by like 12:30.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. Alright, sorry about that, guys, but oh, that's the wrong thing. I want to move this up because it's on the ground. I might want to rotate this too. I think we're going to rotate this. So we're going to rotate the rotate button, just fix it to how you want it. That looks pretty good. I mean, we're going to move it a little more, but I'm trying to make this so we don't have to mask, because I'm going to show you guys masking in a completely different video. So, maybe we can move it this way a little. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so we're going to stick with that. I want to make the depth a little bigger. This is just all look like whatever you want. I'll show you guys a little tip on making a good material, but I'm actually going to use a preset for this. So when we create a material, what I like to do, I make a reflective material. So I like leave the color like that. I just tick reflection. It's going a little slow. Oh, this doesn't happen. Hello? Alright, this material is lagging. Alright, I'm gonna remove this one. Come on. So, alright. Looks, this is lagging a lot. So we're not gonna do that. It's because I'm recording, but I won't do that. Maybe in a different video I'll show you guys some stuff, but I'm just gonna load a material, just use a preset. Wait, no. Alright, content browser. Presets. We'll use this. So it doesn't look right now because there's a few things we still need to do. We're gonna need to add some lighting in front of your text, so you can see the sides kind of look more grungy now, just with the lighting. But there's more we're gonna do too, because I think there's a reflective layer on this text, and when there's a reflective layer, I do something specific. First though, I like to add a little cap. I don't care about the end cap, front cap. Fillet cap looks good. I mean, it looks better when the text is smaller, but for the sake of this, we'll just leave it because it doesn't even look that bad. So here's a trick to make your reflective materials actually reflect, because as you can see, it looks like the front's supposed to be reflective somewhat, but it's not reflecting, it's just gray. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna hit a shape, we're gonna load in a sphere, and we want to blow this up to surround our text. So we get it in there, and then we just start pumping it up until like it's encasing our text. The bigger the better, because then you're not messing up. I'm just going to leave it like that. So we take this material of the background and we drop it on it. And you change your projection to spherical. This is important. Then hit your sphere again, and it'll bring up the sphere menu. You want to hit your tags, Cinema 4D tags, and compositing. And it'll give you a little options thing right here. I'm going to tick a few things and untick a few things. Untick cast shadows, receive shadows, and seen by camera. So now the sphere isn't actually seen in the camera when we render. And you want to leave seen by rays, because this is what will help the reflections. And then you want to tick compositing background. And we're all set here. Now, to make it not seen in your project, if you go on the sphere layer, there's a big circle, 2 little dots, and a check. On the 2 little dots, on the top one, double click it, and it makes it disappear. Now, I should hit this, render view, got the and the sides, it's looking good. So, we're going to render this. Edit render setting. On this output menu, this is all good. This is the project stuff, except current frame needs to go to all frames. Save. You want to change it to, I do a QuickTime movie. Some people do AVI preference. We're gonna pick a location for this. If it wasn't going so slow. We're just gonna title it Meers, just straight up Meers. And we alpha channel, tick that if you want to bring it back into After Effects, because then you can layer it and edit it. Except for masking, you don't need to bring that for masking. Anti-aliasing, I want quick render time, so I'm just going to leave it here, but if it's something really nice, like a really nice material, you want to do best, and then 2x2 and 4x4. Everything else here looks good, so I'm just going to render. So hold this, it gives you a little option, add to render queue, and yes, you want to save your changes, and then just hit start rendering. Now, since I made the settings really low, it's probably going to take like 3 minutes, but I'll meet up with you guys once it's done. A little, you'll see the, what's it called, the video at the end. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. The next time I do a motion tracking tutorial, I'll do it on Element. It's nice to know both. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed.